Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, good morning. I hope you're all well. I hope you're awake. First and foremost, it's getting tough in this month of Ramadan with those early suhoors, but inshallah, I hope that I've got you all up for this morning, for this assembly. Inshallah, another action packed, full of wonderful people work assembly, mashallah. And this is one of the, I suppose, silver linings in this very difficult time that we're all going through, that at least we get to see assemblies in a completely different way. Parents get to access and to see, and children get to showcase their work, and really as digital citizens that they are, the future for them is all about digital platforms and utilizing them in the best way possible, and kind of becoming authors of their own, publishing things, showing things. So I'm really pleased that we have been able to put this together for our weekly assemblies, and I'm really pleased that we've been able to actually showcase so much of the amazing work that our children do. Alhamdulillah, we seem to have a regular crop of contributors, mashallah, Allah bless them. But of course, as you know, with all the challenges that we set out, and any particularly fantastic work or work that has caught the attention of their teacher during the week, then of course that also gets displayed, inshallah, during this Friday assembly. So I hope, inshallah, you are all going to make as much effort as possible to get your work up here, and get it displayed, inshallah, during a Friday assembly, inshallah. And I think that would be a fantastic and significant achievement, mashallah. So well done to all of those who've done that in the past, and those who haven't had their work up yet. Come on, let's get something up here, inshallah. School might be back to normal in a few weeks, inshallah, we hope, and then the assemblies may not last in this current format, so we have to see how things can, inshallah. Let's see what happens, inshallah, when we get back to school, inshallah. Okay, so like I said, we've got a lot of important things to go through today. We've got a lot of information to get through today, a lot of people work as well, inshallah. But I'll start with something I received this week from one of my children. So I thought it'd be a nice way to start our assembly. Ramadan Mubarak. MashaAllah, Zubaydah there, your little sister, giving us all the Ramadan Mubarak. So let's watch it again just in case you missed it. Ramadan Mubarak. MashaAllah, Ramadan Mubarak to you as well, Zubaydah, and everyone else, inshallah. And I hope we're all into a bit of routine now. I know it's a little bit different, but alhamdulillah, I think there's blessings in it as well. I think all of us fathers have become imams, or got our sons as imams in the home, and we're all trying to do our best Mashari Rashid impression. And anything like me, we're failing badly. But anyway, alhamdulillah. Actually, I've got my son reading for me, alhamdulillah, so he's leading us, alhamdulillah. And yeah, I think it's a unique opportunity for all of us as families to get together. The fact that we can't go to the masjid is definitely a disadvantage, but alhamdulillah, it's something outside our control. And I remember listening to one of the scholars, he said, you know what, those of you who had the intention to be in the masjid this year, you'll get the reward because of the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever intends something and is withheld from doing that action, then he still gets the reward of that person as if he is going to do that action. And that's why even things like our sunnah salah, making sure we make that really firm is important, because those sunnah salahs, even when you're sick or unwell or traveling and you're unable to pray your sunnah salah for whatever reason, you still get the reward of that sunnah salah. So getting those good habits are very, very important. And inshallah, like I said, this year we've all been for obvious reasons, taken away from the masjid. But alhamdulillah, I think we can open up opportunities in our houses, and as we're going to see a bit later on, inshallah, mashallah, some of our families have made a real effort to turn their houses into masajid. Okay, so let me just start off with one of my screen from last week, and no apologies for repeating it, because I think it's really important to think about how much time has already elapsed. So last week we talked about 30 days and numbers for 30 days. This week, of course, our time has diminished. It's diminished since last week, of course, and therefore we are now a week in, and therefore we only have 23 days left in Ramadan, which means we only have 552 hours, which means we only have 33,120 minutes or 1,987,200 seconds left. And of course, since I wrote that early this morning, the seconds have gone down, and it's constantly moving along. So I hope, inshallah, all of us have got into a routine. I hope all of us have, inshallah, established a routine that works for you around your schedule. I know kids have got schoolwork, parents have got their own work, and it's about actually putting a routine together so that it works for all of you. And that's really, really important, because what tends to happen in my experience is that if you haven't got that routine, then before you know it, a few days turns into a week. Before you know, it's like the last 10 days, and it's like, oh wow, what happened to Ramadan? It went, and you don't feel like you've achieved as much as you should have. And one simple tip I learned, a few years ago, and it's really helped me personally. And I think that's something which all of us should have. And I know, mashallah, teachers and Ustadh sent out a kind of Ramadan, daily Ramadan planner and goals and so on and so forth. And that is to have goals. So even for us as adults, and if as parents watching, and adults watching, and old children, have some goals. Set some goals for yourself for what you want to achieve in this month. What do you want to achieve in this month? How much do you want to read the Quran? How much do you want to read, memorize? How much do you want to in du'as? How much do you want? Because if you have those goals set, then you just make sure that you just are very tenacious and incessant, and you keep going till you reach those targets every single day. So it could be that I'm going to read 5 pages after every salah, and that makes 25 pages a day, which means that you'll finish the Quran by the end of Ramadan. Or you might say, you know what, let me double that, let me make it 10 pages after every salah, and just get into a little habit of doing that. And before you know it, no matter what happens, you're going to finish those 10 pages, and by the end of Ramadan you would have finished 2 Qurans. And that's something that all of us need to do. And I know it's a big debate. Do you spend time just thinking about the Quran and pondering over the Quran, as we know the Quran was sent down for us to ponder over, or do we spend time just reading it continuously to gain the additional rewards? Allah knows best. I think each person is different in terms of how they probably feel what works better for them. But regardless, have those targets. If you are going to listen to a daily tafsir lesson, there are some really good lessons online. Can make a habit. Make sure you're going to start from the beginning and get right to the end to listen to all of the tafsir lessons. If you're going to get a habit of reading Quran, then make sure you get to habit of reading Quran and you get through that routine daily without fail, and not allow those seconds, those diamonds that are falling. Anyone would think we're mad if we had diamonds falling from the sky and we just looked at it and said, oh well, I don't need them. We'd all think we're all absolutely foolish. So let's make sure, let's take that opportunity, this opportunity Allah has given us, the health to be here this Ramadan. Allah has given us the life to be here this Ramadan, and the help to actually take benefit, to be able to fast and to pray and to read. And let's not use that time or waste that time in things that are less valuable or less important. Let's put those things to the side. Let's park them up, and actually make sure that we use this month to really, really push ourselves, inshallah, to seek Allah's pleasure. And after all that's been said, nothing is actually of any value unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from us. And I was listening to a nice reminder the other day where the Shaykh was saying that, when Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam, when they were building the Kaaba, they kept reading dua, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim. Allah accept it from us. Or Allah accept it from us. You are the all-hearing, the all-knowing. And he was reflecting that this is the Prophet of Allah, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Khalilullah, close friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and his son Ismail, and they're building the Kaaba. And still their constant and continued dua was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from us. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our ibadah and make all of it sincere to please Him, and make sure that our intention is only to please Him and not to please our parents or to please other people. All these other things are things that we do, fine, but our first most important intention, the one that everything is built upon, is that we're doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we can do it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then inshallah those deeds will be accepted. Okay, so inshallah, let's move on to other parts of the assembly. Just going to go back, remind you of that, the minutes and the hours there. Just keep that in your head, guys. We need to make sure we utilize this time as well as possible. And if you're just joining us, let's put another one of those There we go. Another Ramadan Mubarak for everyone, just in case you weren't here at the beginning of the assembly. Right, okay, let's go straight into our stars of the week. MashaAllah, we are fortunate that our children are so amazing. They're still working really, really hard to make sure that they are achieving as much as possible, even though it's a little bit difficult, even though it's a bit, unusual that we are in the situation. They're still making amazing efforts. And you know what? I really honestly, I'm not just saying it, I really honestly think that in the end, we would be in a position that we'll see our children, they would have developed some skills that would be so amazing, that's going to make them absolutely fantastic. Inshallah, independent learners, when they come back to school, and there's lots of things that I've been thinking about how we can change in the school based upon this experience, particularly with the way we use our digital platform. So inshallah, hopefully it'll be a blessing in disguise of some sort, inshallah, for us as well and for our children. So straight into reception, we have Maryam Adozani, mashallah, for her outstanding and consistent submission of work and impeccable behavior and attitude during Qaida reading. Mashallah, wow, that's fantastic, Maryam. Well done to you. In year 1, we have Hafsa Abdul Rahman for her excellent explanation of measurement when describing capacity and for always completing her tasks. MashaAllah, well done, Hafsa. And parents, is really important. We want our children to complete those tasks and, not just to complete the tasks by being nagged and, told again and again. We want them to become independent and actually get on with it independently. Even the youngest children, if you speak to Mr. Nisa, as many of you have in the past, she'll tell you they could do it. Leave them, let them do it. They can achieve amazing things. And you know what? They can. So let them really get independent and get on with their work and, use the tools out there at their disposal to kind of do some amazing things. So well done to Hafsa, mashallah. And we have Muhammad as well for retelling the story of Lost and Found brilliantly. Wow, using powerful verbs and detailed description. Well done, Muhammad, mashallah. In year 2, we have Ayman Tahir for using his imaginative and spectacular project on giraffes. MashaAllah, Ayman. Sounds like an amazing topic, giraffes, amazing creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So well done to you. And then we also have Zaki Malik for his brilliant video on measuring and putting in fantastic effort in all tasks. Well done twice. Okay, well done. And that was a cue for Zaki's video, mashallah. So let's have a look at Zaki. Just getting there. There we go. Bismillah.
Super measuring jugs. I have 250 milliliters. I have 2,000 milliliters. I have 1,000 milliliters. I want to make 500 in this one. First, just pour it in here. And another one. That makes 500 milliliters.
MashaAllah, well done to Zaki. I'm just checking that. Did you guys hear that? Just because I could hear it here, and I'm thinking that may mean you guys can't hear it. Where is this? Can someone tell me on the chat that they can hear it? Okay, I'm gonna move on. I think Okay, thank you, Miss Jabin. Thank you. Good. Right. Excellent. Because I discovered a new way of showing the Seesaw videos rather than downloading them all and taking forever to put them all together. I went direct to Seesaw, so that was really helpful for me to save some time. But obviously they display slightly different because normal videos I can't hear actually. So I'm trying to guess when the video is finishing. Right, those ones I could hear, so that's even better. Right, back to our stars of the week. Thank you. And in year 3, Nusayba Mirza, hey, for complete tasks to an impeccable standard and using speech marks correctly in her writing. Well done, Nusayba, mashallah. And in year 4, Sophia Nadim for writing a brilliant big right story entry full of emotion and suspense and displaying exceptional manners even when working online. Mashallah, Sophia. Excellent. Yeah, that's very important, guys. Even though we're online, remember our e-safety rules. And remember, we don't say anything online that we wouldn't say in person to someone. So it's about being good and well-mannered and showing them good akhlaq continually. And we have Isa Khatib, mashallah, for his excellent application answers for statistics and consistently producing work to a high standard. Well done, Isa, mashallah. Very nice to hear. Well done. And in year 5, we have Rumaysa Mustafa for her enthusiastic approach to all tasks set and always completing her tasks with impeccable standard. MashaAllah. She also uses her own initiative to set her own challenges. MashaAllah. And I know Rumaysa, she's a mini teacher, mashallah. And I heard also that, mashallah, Rumaysa is an expert at Seesaw and getting all of those tools used very, very well. So well done to you, Rumaysa, mashallah. And also, Ayub Mirza, yeah, Ayub's on the chat, so he'll be happy, for writing a fantastic opening for his adventure story. It was full of suspense, mashallah. Well done, Ayub. And in year 6, we have Medina Khan for her inspiring scientific project on the phases of the moon and her beautiful canvas painting of a masjid. MashaAllah, Medina's been busy, and we have that video of Medina.
These are the 8 different moon phases. New moon. The new moon phase occurs when the moon is directly between Earth and the Sun. A waxing crescent. This is when the moon looks like a crescent and the crescent increases day by day. The first quarter is when half the entire lit portion of the moon can be seen. Waxing gibbous moon. This is when the entire lit portion of the moon can be seen increasing. Full moon is when we can see the entire lit portion of the moon. A waning gibbous. This occurs between the full moon and the third quarter. The last quarter moon is when half the lit portion is visible after the waning gibbous phase. A waning moon is when the moon looks like a crescent and the crescent increases in size.
MashaAllah, Medina, fantastic model there, MashaAllah. Tied up, I think, under your mum's kitchen kitchen cupboard, MashaAllah. But fantastic little design there. I really like that. I really enjoy that. So, MashaAllah. If you'd put the old sun and the earth in there as well somewhere, that would be really good. So you can really explain how all that works in relation to the sun and the earth. But there you go, MashaAllah. Well done, Medina. And also for Zainab, for her skillful construction of super hard and expert model aeroplanes and her informative work on the African savannah. MashaAllah, well done, Zainab, MashaAllah. And there are some pictures here of the aeroplanes that she managed to make. Not a video, just some pictures. You can see she's made some expert level paper aeroplanes. These are some interesting tasks we found for the children, mashallah. And yeah, mashallah, very, very skillfully put together. And if I can just click in here again, and I'm going to try to move along to the next one. I always wanted to make brilliant paper aeroplanes. Never got past the basic fold in half and pointed nose, and that was it. It never got much further than that. So well done to Zainab. You can teach when you get back, inshallah. And what would be interesting, of course, is to see which plane goes the furthest. That could be an interesting challenge when we get back, inshallah. Right, so well done to all of our stars of the week, mashallah. Well done for your efforts. Well done for putting the extra effort into tasks that weren't necessarily main pieces of work. Like this model aeroplane thing wasn't actually a main task for them, but mashallah, she put her mind to it and created something amazing. We also have this week some Islamic studies certificates for the children um, for the children who completed various parts of the Quran curriculum. And in reception we have another Nusayba, and funny enough her middle name is Hawa, which is Nusayba and Hawa, another two siblings that we have, so it's a bit of a strange coincidence. But this is Nusayba Hawa bint Habib, mashallah. Nusayba, well done, really proud of you. Look at that, for completing Juz' Amma part 1, mashallah. Allah bless you, Nusayba, well done, and fantastic effort from you, mashallah. And we have Maryam Abdul Ghani, mashallah, who we had Ed on as well, mashallah, and for unsurprisingly, this, based on what the teacher said about how she approaches her learning, she's now completing Juz' Amma Part 1, mashallah, tabarakallah. May Allah bless her, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all our children from any evil eye, but Allah make them all huffaz the Quran as well, inshallah. And we have Umar Abdul Latif, mashallah, tabarakallah. Miss will be happy there. Miss Sabiha, I hope you're awake watching this. For completing Juz' Amma Part 2, Year 1, mashallah. Well done, Umar Abdul Latif. May Allah bless you and make you have the Quran as well, inshallah. May Allah make all of you who have the Quran. And in Year 1, mashallah, Hafsa Akbar. Well done, Hafsa, for completing the Qaida Part 1, mashallah. So some amazing achievements there from our children in the Islamic Studies department. So well done to all of them. May Allah bless you and protect you and keep you firm and upright, inshallah, for all of your lives, inshallah. And you know what? One of the blessings of this month, someone said yesterday, and it was really kind of hit me as well when I read this. It was, in this lockdown, we realized every house needs a hafiz of Quran, and it's true. In this month, if you've got a hafiz in your house, you're blessed. Or even not even hafiz, even if they're on 10 juz, or mashallah, you're blessed, because they have opportunity to lead the salah. You have the opportunity to listen to, and of course, if you can hold the Quran, of course you can, and I'm not saying that's wrong, and I'm not saying, obviously, as Ustadh Sale mentioned, on our talk the other day, you can also repeat the surahs again and again, but having the Quran, someone with the Quran in your house that can recite it, is a real blessing. So may Allah make all of our children that are here who found the Quran, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them all capable of leading salah at home and leading their parents and being, inshallah, a source of blessing for their parents in this world and in the akhirah. So let's move on, inshallah. Now, last week, because of this, this influx of all these videos, there was one video that came just a little bit after the what do you call it, the publishing deadline or editing deadline, and that was Haytham's video on Iceland. Now, it was amazing, so I thought I'd definitely put it in here, and let's see what we can learn, especially particularly as it's a country that perhaps, well, I would say the vast majority of us don't know much about, and it's precisely what we wanted to do in the day. We wanted to actually learn something about the country, and he took it a step further, mashallah, and that's what I'm talking about independence, initiative, do things your own way, make things different, don't wait for people to be told. That's a really key characteristic that we need from our children, that, don't just do the basics, what everyone says, just do this, and you do it and you give up or you stop. Do that and do more and create different things and think about things in different ways, and you would be people that will be very, very effective as you grow up. So without further ado, let's move over to Hayden's short, it's a few minutes, but it's well worth watching his video. Bismillah.
All about Iceland. I am interested in Iceland because a few years ago my sister went to Iceland and brought me back a jigsaw of the map of Iceland. I was interested to learn more about this fascinating country. Iceland is near the top of the Earth, just below the Arctic Circle, and it is north of the UK. Iceland features many amazing geographic landmarks such as fjords, glaciers, waterfalls, geysers, and volcanoes. It is 40,000 square miles, which is about half the size of the UK. However, 80% of the country is not inhabited, with Iceland having a population of only 360,000 people, half of which live in the capital city. The capital city is Reykjavik, in comparison to Northern Forest, where 270,000 people live. So you can see that Iceland has very few people living there. The Icelandic flag. The cross design is modeled after the Danish flag. The color red is said to symbolize the island's active volcanoes, white the ice and snow that covers most of the country, and blue is symbolic of the surrounding Atlantic Ocean. The cross represents Christianity. Iceland is known as the land of ice and fire. This is because it has the largest glaciers in Europe and some of the most active volcanoes in the world. The country is famous for its geothermal lagoons and natural hot springs. Geothermal energy heats 90% of all buildings in Iceland and most of the swimming pools. Geothermal energy is heat created from deep inside Earth, so it is a clean, natural source of energy. There are about 130 volcanoes in Iceland, some of which are still active. Eyjafjallajökull is what is known as a stratovolcano, meaning it has a large, steep-sided cone. The volcano has an ice cap, which is a mass of ice that covers a piece of land. A geyser is a hot spring from which water intermittently boils and sends a tall column of water and steam shooting up. The most active geyser in the area is called Stokkr. It spouts hot water as high as 30 meters into the air every few minutes. In the summer, Iceland experiences 24 hours of daylight. Imagine being in bed when it is light outside for the whole night. However, in the winter, there are only a few hours of daylight. Despite the dark winters, Iceland enjoys the natural phenomenon of the northern lights, aurora borealis. This is when electrically charged particles from the sun enter the atmosphere above the magnetic poles. In Iceland's case, this is above the North Pole. The particles cause the sky to turn different colors, from green and purples to yellows and violets. In conclusion, Iceland is a fascinating country, even more so because the 1,000 Muslims that live there will have one of the longest fasts in the world, with the first fast starting at 3 a.m. and the iftar at 9:25 p.m. and the last fast of Ramadan will be beginning at the very early time of 2:25 a.m. till iftar, which is at 11 p.m. So when you do your fast, think of the people in Iceland and be grateful and say Alhamdulillah that you don't have to fast that long.
MashaAllah, that amazing Udi there. And like you said, that fast, talk about a fast, just imagine that, you 2 a.m. So just imagine, I was thinking that, so 2 a.m. you close your fast and you go all the way through the day, and at 11 p.m. you open your fast. You have 3 hours to pray Maghrib, Tarawih, Isha, and have some food. And so subhanallah, it's truly amazing. So fantastic work there, Haytham, and shout out to your sister as well, mashallah. So, you took half of her pictures for the for the presentation, and well done to her for getting some really nice pictures, and well done to you for putting it all together in such a nice way that made it a really nice and informative presentation. And yeah, it's fascinating actually to think that there's Muslims living there. And fasting all day. That's wow. It's the longest ones we had a few years ago up to about 9:30, and they were tough. So I'm just thinking about just the time to kind of even have anything. It must be very, very difficult. Right. Okay. Let's move on to this week's challenge. Alhamdulillah, we had a number of challenges set out last week. And the idea was to kind of tell us a little bit about Ramadan and what you do in Ramadan. And alhamdulillah, we've got a different range of different things. Some people have done some nice videos, some people just did, a bit of audio, some people have done some pictures. So it's really, really nice. So I thought we'll skip through these inshallah and have a look at Ramadan. And we'll start with a message from Tahara.
What is special about Ramadan is you don't eat or drink from sunrise to sunset, and you wake up early in the morning to eat together. And after a while of fasting, you break your fast together at sunset. Also, you can decorate your house with Ramadan posters and banners.
MashaAllah, thank you, Tahara. Lovely start there. Very true. Amazing opportunity for us to fast in this month and do lots of good deeds, inshallah. So let's have a look at Maryam's video about Ramadan. Very skillfully put together, mashallah, Maryam.
My name is Maryam. This is the prayer room. And everyone prays. This is my big giant rod. And this is my prayer mat. And this is my chart. My chart. These are the writing words. So this is fasting. This is a prayer. This is reading Quran. This is good deed. And I write and I help my mum because it's good deed. I read Quran every day. I pray around mum and dad in the masjid at home. And I fast at Ramadan.
MashaAllah, Maryam, that's fantastic. I'm really pleased to hear you say you help your mum, MashaAllah. That's very, very important. Look after your parents is very important. Really pleased to see the appearance of the Ramadan wall chart, Miss Khadija there. And MashaAllah, there you go. Some, inshallah, evidence your chart's been used very well, MashaAllah. Okay, let's go on to Khadija.
Assalamu alaikum, Ustadh.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm Khadija Bulari. This is my play tent. Over here, this is our activity basket. We do one activity every day. These are also our lanterns and our charity boxes here. There's lots of money. And this is a Ramadan calendar. We pick one good deed from here, and then we need to do it. So today, my good deed was to Mario. Goodbye.
MashaAllah, Khadija, well, that's fantastic, and Allah bless you. Lovely set up arrangements there, MashaAllah. And from one Khadija to another Khadija Faisal. So here we have Khadija Faisal.
This Ramadan, we have made our parents' room into a masjid, and we pray in there and do all our Islamic things in there. And my brother, we thought that again for every I can, and my dad reads every salah, and we've got a dua for entering the masjid and the dua for leaving the masjid, and then we have a big figure, and we have painted a dome for the masjid.
MashaAllah, Khadija, lovely to see. Well done. MashaAllah, excellent and fantastic effort there to turn that into a masjid. It actually looks like a masjid, MashaAllah. The door going in there. I guess you probably got a shoe rack as you walk in on the left somewhere, maybe. Hey, MashaAllah to Khadija. Well done there. And then we have Isam, MashaAllah, who is going to tell us from this strange angle he put on his phone. I'm not sure what he's doing here, but anyway, let's listen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
The
salam.
fun thing about Ramadan is I get to lead in Taraweeh. And the other good thing is
MashaAllah.
we get to make very good decorations, and we might make some for Eid as well. One decoration is this one, and another one is the one behind me, the lanterns. Me and my sister made them, and the other one my sister made. But the other good thing is that we get to spend more time reading Quran. Like after Fajr, we get to read in his class 2 hours, and then in the afternoon again. And that's what's still fun about this Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Islam, mashallah, thank you. Mashallah. And it's really nice and so heartwarming to hear you're enjoying reading the Quran and you're leading the Salah, mashallah. It's amazing. Well done, Asam. Allah bless you, make you happy the Quran, inshallah. Here's my good old mate, Adam. Adam, mashallah, bless you. You're back again, and we can see what he's got lined up for us here. Something a bit different.
Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to show you how you make a biscuit drink for iftar. First you add a cup of brown hibiscus and then you add half a cup of sugar. And now you let it soak for 2 hours. Okay. This delicious hibiscus drink has lots of health benefits. Some of these are it lowers blood pressure and it helps digestion. Beautiful colours.
MashaAllah, well done, Adam. I hope it tastes beautiful as well, MashaAllah. Well done, Adam, MashaAllah. And then we had Sophia with a message for everyone, MashaAllah, about her Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, it is the month of Ramadan. This Ramadan, it is completely different as we are in lockdown. Alhamdulillah, I managed to keep 17 fasts last year. This year, inshallah, I will keep them all. In some ways, it is easier to fast at home. I wake up for suhoor with my family. We eat and pray together. Afterwards, I lie in until 9-ish. I can do many more acts of worship at home, but I do miss school a lot. Iftar is always amazing. No one can eat much though. Nana says it's because Allah puts barakah in our food. Alhamdulillah for Ramadan. Alhamdulillah for my family. Alhamdulillah for all of Allah's blessings. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. MashaAllah, Sophia, very true. The blessing of a little bit of food. Just imagine how much we get compared to normal days, how much we eat and how we just manage, and proves a couple of things. We normally overeat. We're all guilty of that. But mashallah. And I hope you're awake, Sophia. You said 9-ish. It's now 10. So I hope you're awake and watching our assembly. Inshallah. And next up, we have Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Yusuf. I'm in year 4 and I'm going to tell you something about my Ramadan. This Ramadan is really special to me because today I'm going to try my first full fast, and I feel really proud, and I'm trying my best to keep the fast and take it well, and also if I do succeed, then I'm going to be allowed to drink this. It's called J2O and I really like it. Also, we're going to get Sahara Grill if I do that. And also that it's a bit different from normal Ramadans because coronavirus is here and we're in lockdown, so it's a bit more peaceful and
MashaAllah, Yusuf. And by now, I hope you have had that J2O and you've had your Sahara Girl, inshallah. If it's, I don't know if it's been open, I'm not sure, but I'm sure your mum would have got you something there. MashaAllah, well done. And may Allah bless you and may Allah accept your fast and make you live a long life, many Ramadans of fasting, inshallah, and all the children, inshallah, have that long life full of fasting, because you have to remember the reward of Ramadan is such an immense reward. And yeah, and you won't forget your first Ramadan, will you? Everyone will remember the year that was the coronavirus and what happened and so on and so forth. So, alhamdulillah, really good to hear, Yusuf. Well done. I hope you are coping okay with the extra uh, challenge of the long fast, because it's still quite a long fast, to be fair. So I'm hoping you are doing okay. Next up we have Zubaydah in year 2.
Assalamu alaikum. This is our bunting that I love. First, we got paper and made it in the right shape. And we wrote the letters on the paper. And then we coloured them in and put strings through it. And hang it up on the doors and put the lids on each side.
MashaAllah, Zubaydah, thank you for telling us how you made that bunting. It's a funny word, isn't it? Bunting. I always find that a funny word, bunting. And the balloons, mashallah, well done. Just for you, I think your sound was a bit lower. So just generally, guys, if you are doing videos, try to make sure the recording device is close to the children. You can take this is all about getting better at videos, isn't it? It's like you take a wide view and then go in close so you can hear the child. Sometimes it's difficult to pick up the quality, and obviously this is getting streamed, and that makes it the sound quality drop again. So if you haven't got a mic, which I don't presume many people have, I don't have one myself, to be honest, then maybe just try to be as close as possible to the device that you're recording from, inshallah. Okay, next up we have Zaid. Now Zaid, mashallah, he did have a PowerPoint, Zaid, but I was unable to put it together with your voice notes, to be honest. I haven't developed my technical skills that far yet. So what I've done is I've just put the slides together as a slideshow so you can see. So Zaid, mashallah, I think I did see him tapping away in the chat somewhere. So I think yeah, he will be there. So just to go through his presentation. Suhoor. I was having a peaceful sleep when suddenly I was being awakened. Suhoor time. I went down to go and eat my Weet-Bix. I ate quite fast because I was hungry. Now I was really excited, typo there, because I was about to eat chocolate waffles and ice cream at suhoor time. Wow! Oof. Imagine that. You're about to eat a gigantic waffle and ice cream. That's how I feel. No, people are fasting. Don't have to imagine about yummy chocolate waffles. And it was too late now, Zaid. We'll be all thinking about those yummy chocolate waffles. It's a very nice and tempting picture there. Sleeping. 2 minutes later, he's sleeping, and then he has to get up for Fajr. It's hard in the morning, isn't it? It's really hard. You put your head down. As they say, you snooze, you lose. You're gone. So you need to make sure after suhoor, stay awake right to the end. Make a wudu, pray your Fajr, and then go to sleep. If you go into bed just thinking I'll be a couple of minutes and get up in a minute, it could be all over. MashaAllah, and he's got his little, MashaAllah, I've seen quite a few parents do that, MashaAllah, this little tent, and they got reading going on there. That's really nice, MashaAllah. And the Ramadan chart, which looks very intricate, Zaid, MashaAllah. Well done to you there, MashaAllah, it looks beautiful. I guess that's for you and Adam both. And another one of our families who turned a little corner of their house into a mosque, which is really, really special. And I would advise everyone to do that. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be a whole room. It can just be one corner where you just kind of rearrange the furniture, put the prayer mats out, and that becomes your little space and your masjid for this period. And inshallah, you get the same reward as if you're in the masjid. So, inshallah, good advice for everyone to kind of try to implement in their houses. Iftar, wow, I've been waiting a long time 17 hours, that's true, a very long time. And now I was so hungry, but the food came just in time. I wanted to start by eating a chocolate but I ate a date instead. Then I ate a chocolate strawberry, that's good to know. Then I prayed Maghrib and I ate about 1/4, 0.25 of the pie, one stuffing gravy and a little bit of roasted vegetables. I never had cake because I was full, but I had it the day after. Mashallah. If you don't like strawberries, and when you put chocolate on them, they surprisingly taste nice. Well, I think strawberries taste nice on their own, mashallah. They're amazing fruits that are very good for you, even without chocolate. Bye bye, Ramadan Mubarak. And then whoever gave me a star of the week, thank you. That was for last week's day. You got star of the week, and that thank you goes to, of course, none other than your teacher, mashallah, who chose you to be the star of the week. So that goes into your thank you to her, rather, to Miss Reshmi. Okay, right. So a couple of other videos to go. We had a nice video from Muhsina, mashallah. Where is Muhsina? I've got it here. Where is it going? Here it is, mashallah. And really nice to see Muhsina.
Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. Today I will be showing you around my house at Ramadan. First of all, I would like to show you some of our Ramadan decorations. This is our Ramadan decoration, and we have lots of balloons as well. Now I would be showing you what I did today in my garden. So, this is what we've done today. We've pulled out all the weeds and we've planted some vegetables. So far we've planted some onion, some broccoli, some chili and some garlic. I've been doing my Ramadan water. This is for the fast that I've done. This is all the prayers I've done. I recited Quran all these days, and I did a rowdy. Now I'm going to open my fast with this lovely. Last but not least, dessert.
Mashallah, Muhsina, that's an amazing video, really, and to see your confidence is so inspiring, mashallah. Well done, Muhsina. I'm really happy to have seen that. Some nice special effects in there as well, mashallah. I see from, I'm not sure who did that for you, whether you did it yourself or, but that's very impressive with the old balloons flying around. So well done to Muhsina, mashallah, tabarakallah. And one final video, and this is from another piece of editing and putting together with a nice nasheed. It goes to Huda in reception.
يا نور الهلال أقبل تعال فالشوق طال والقلب سما نحو السماء مترنما لا تنقضي أنت للروح دواء رمضان يا حبيب رمضان ليتك
MashaAllah, Huda, and your brother, Allah bless you, MashaAllah. And I also want to say to the parents, MashaAllah, that it's really, really pleasing to see the amount of effort parents have put together to help make these Ramadan special. I often say in the school that children will remember those special moments, those special emotions they had around certain times of the year, certain people they were around, and that emotion and that memory is very, very powerful for them. So the fact you guys are making so much effort putting together this, making Ramadan special for them, the way you made the houses, the way you put the creations up, all of these things are going to really remind these children, inshallah, when they're older, about how special Ramadan is, and that very strong emotional bond they'll have with Ramadan because of the efforts of all the parents, mashallah. So may Allah bless all the parents and all the efforts you put in for making, you know, some amazing things that put me to shame at the very least, because I don't do I've done any of them, to be honest, other than well, actually, I don't think I've done either. I don't no decorations, but yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Right. Okay. So, guys, a couple of important announcements. One is you will be pleased to know the quintessential quarantine quiz is back on Saturday, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, we had a really good time last time. We had about 60 so almost 70 teams I think registered last time, mashallah. And we had a good old evening on general knowledge quiz. And because people were so happy with it and they wanted to get us to do it again, we have done it again. But this time we have made it a little bit different. We have included a good friend of mine, Abdul Malik Taylor. Me and him go back a long way before his Muslim history days. But alhamdulillah, I was talking to him about the quiz we had, and he actually took part in the last quiz, and he wanted to do something similar, so let's work together. So alhamdulillah, we have got a quiz tomorrow, inshallah. It's going to be all about British Muslim history, some fascinating things about, you know, the first mosques, the first Muslims, the first people to go to Hajj in the first place. Amazing. It's going to be really educational. Forget the quiz in terms of winning it, just what we're going to learn, inshallah. I'm really looking forward to it. So me and him will be presenting that tomorrow, inshallah, and we're going to hope that we will be able to get this quiz carried on for next week as well. And next week on Saturday the 9th, I can now exclusively reveal it will be on Islamic studies or Quran, and we're going to have stuff about the Quran. We're going to have some quick questions about the Sahabas. We're going to have stories about the Prophet. So we're going to have a nice mix of Islamic studies questions, inshallah, for the following Saturday as well. So inshallah, a couple of fun quizzes, inshallah, educational, will help you next week. Well, one tomorrow and one next week. Do register. We have sent out the link to your emails. If you haven't received it, check please, and it will be sent again today in Juma notices, so please do register. Inshallah, we'll see you this time on Muslim History Tours YouTube channel rather than ours. We're going to be using his channel, so we'll be seeing that, inshallah. Well, we'll see you for that tomorrow, inshallah. And once again, next week we'll have one from our school directly on Islamic studies, inshallah. Okay, so that's something important regarding that. The second thing, you would have all received an email this week about the Palestinian orphans. Alhamdulillah, we're going to have three main targets for our fundraising this year. One is going to be obviously our orphans that we've committed to for the last, I think, three is it 3 years now? Yeah, 3 years. And you've all seen the video, mashallah, of the children in Palestine, and we've, alhamdulillah, raised 2,164. So please do go on that link that was sent out as well. It'll go out again today in our Juma notices. Please, let's get that 3,600 secured, so we know that money is done and dusted, and we've got that money ready for them, and we can pass it over to orphans in need, so they can have that money for children in Palestine. That's set for the year. And we'll also be doing some other fundraising, which I will mention later, not right now. And then with that, inshallah, then I will leave you this assembly with a message from Rumesa. So she got a nice certificate, Star of the Week, for her message of appreciation. So I thought it'd be nice to leave this assembly with her message. It's actually written, so you have to read it. I'll read it for you. It's not a video. You'll see here it says, dear doctors and nurses. I don't know where to start. First of all, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work and efforts. I can't imagine a world without you guys. If you weren't here, people would be sick and poorly. People would not know how to eat healthy or stay fit. This means many people would have a shorter lifespan. As well as caring for our outside, you also care for our feelings and are nice to us when we have appointments. If you weren't around, there will be lots of chaos and people will be out of control, especially at this time of need during the coronavirus. You have been such. I think it means you have made such an impact on everyone's life. You care for all the patients and try your best to keep the majority alive. Coronavirus has made me realize how much effort you put into your job and how much work you do, and to appreciate you more. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And not to be forgotten, dear couriers, thank you very much for all your hard work and time. If you weren't here, me and my family would not have had any shopping, as we aren't really allowed to go out because of my grandma and because I have asthma. Thanks to you, many lives have been saved, as not many people would have to leave their houses. Coronavirus would have spread way more quicker and everything would have been so crazy. Thank you so much to our couriers, mashallah. And those two messages are absolutely lovely messages for us to leave. Uh, leave this assembly today. So with that, inshallah, I say Jazakumullah khair, and inshallah we hope to see you in this assembly next week, although it is Friday the 8th of May. Originally a bank holiday, is VE Day. Let's challenge someone, what is VE Day? I won't tell you now. And it would have been a school holiday. It is a school holiday, but we will have an assembly on that day. So teachers won't be working in terms of work or anything, so there won't be any work as such, but I will have an assembly because I get so much stuff coming through during the week for assembly. I just feel like there's no point missing one out, so we'll get one next week as well, inshallah. And I look forward to seeing some of your entries, and I look forward to seeing some new people, some new faces, some new children bringing forward some ideas, inshallah. And with that, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for all our shortcomings, and we ask, I remind you and remind myself, of course, it's Friday, sending salams on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, making dua, particularly after Asr, and of course reading Surah Al-Kahf without fail, especially in this month of Ramadan. But all at home, let's make sure we make that into a definite habit during this few weeks that we are home. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.